Eat with me. Let me tell you about the bad experience I had with long distance relationship. So let's get into it. Okay, guys. So welcome. So I did a video talking about my experience with, not really talking about my experience, but I mentioned my experience with long-term relationships, which I don't even know that people like, even if it's like 20 people that watch my video, but it's like the fact that someone would like, try to reach out to me privately asking me to talk about my long distance relationship experience and why I said it's not for me and that I would never get into one. So anyway, let's do that while we eat this very long sugar cane that I have here. So my brother actually gave this to me and I am very excited. Like it didn't come cut or anything. So I guess I'm going in. Okay, so I already washed it. So it's very clean. Look at how big it is. It's like three times the size of my head. What? Okay. So let's get started and then I will tell you about my experience with my long-term relationship that didn't go so well. Oh my god, it's like if I look like this into the camera, it will appear as if I'm looking at you guys. But if I look at the screen, because I'm using a front camera, it appears that I'm looking away. So anyway, bear with me. And don't forget, before we get started, please subscribe to my channel. I'm basically just starting. Like I literally don't know what I'm doing. I'm just picking up camera. I'm not even trying to stress it because when I try to think of stressing it, like, oh, should I set up lights and should I make the background look cute? Then I get so discouraged. So for now, like I'm just picking up my phone and just recording and hoping people will watch it. And I know with time, I'm really going to make my content better. On Instagram, my content are they're usually great. It's Cindy Okafor. I'm going to attach it right here. I don't even think any of my followers know about this particular YouTube, and I really don't want to connect it because this is new and I'm just really trying to see what I can do here. And so anyway, from shots and everything, I've been able to gather about 500,000 views or so. So I'm like, oh my god, maybe I should be a little bit more serious with this. But yeah, before I start talking, let's get into this, okay? Let's go. Mm, mm, mm-hmm, mm. There's nothing better than sugar cane. Like it tastes so good. Mm-hmm. So anyway, mm, mm. It's better than soda. Anyway, let's get into the main reason why I'm making this video. So this was back in 2015 or thereabouts. So I just got out of my very first relationship, like very first guy, very first everything. And it was a very traumatic experience, which I don't know if you guys want me to share that as well. I don't even mind giving you guys the tea of everything that happened. And I had already known him for years prior to that, but I never really like gave him a chance. So now that I was single, it was like, okay, let's do it. So he was in the military. So of course he wasn't living where I was living. He was like posted like in the north or something, yeah, in the north, Kaduna State, and I was in Lagos. So he but I was willing to go meet with him because I was quite excited. Something happened. I think there was like something, but he got shot or he got injured and they had to like move him to the western part. They didn't bring him to Lagos, but they brought him quite close, so like a very neighboring state. So they took him to Ogun State, in Ibadan, in Ogun State. So I technically have to travel to meet with him, or him travels to meet with me. So yeah, long distance. Anyway, so we started a relationship and everything was going great. Also, I thought. But during that time, I was like very dedicated to this man, and oh my god, I was so dedicated to this man, which I'm supposed to, because it was like a committed relationship. And at the time, well, till now, I'm still like a lover girl. I believe in love and just like one man, one woman dynamic, which is how it's supposed to be. If I start going in depth about the whole story, I feel like we're not going to leave here at all, because it's quite long. So I'm going to try to see how I can summarize it, unless if you guys want me to like tell you guys the full version of like what really happened, or if you guys also want to hear about my first relationship and what happened, because that breakup was traumatic. And but I was kind of glad it ended, because I was young. I felt like I didn't really know what I wanted in a man, looks wise. So when I was going for this guy that I did the long distance relationship with, the military guy, I was actually very selective, like physical look. I was like, I really knew what I wanted, and he had everything I wanted to a T. So so yeah, we started dating. Everything was going great. It was quite intense, because like I fell in love with that man, and he said he was in love with me. I mean, I believe that at the time. But so apparently he was also dating someone else, like a senior to him in office, that was practically living in the same place. You know how the military soldiers live, like their barrack and stuff. So every time I visited, of course, that lady will make his life and my life miserable by like sending him out on like impossible missions that he has to come back very late, and she will give him like the largest chores, like if they're doing their routine clean up and stuff like that, he will give him like the largest one. And then I noticed something every time I greet this lady. I'm like, good morning or good afternoon. She's a young girl, but I think she joined the military quite fast, but she was his senior in office. So I would greet her and she would snub me. When I say premium snubbing, like she wouldn't even. And I'm like, what the fuck? Sorry. I was like, what is going on? Like, I was so confused, because I've never met this lady before in my life. I don't know why she's mad at me. So, but you know, as a girl, your gut is very strong. Like your inner intuition, girls believe in that. Like it will not fail you. It just kept telling me that something is off. Something is not quite right. I just can't put my finger on it. But I would ask him, and he would tell me, like, she's just being like the B word. She's just like I can't even remember the stories that he would tell me, but it was just like ridiculous stories. So I knew something was off. And he would say this and that. I'm like, okay, because I didn't have any reason to doubt him. Like that was literally his senior. Like I didn't know what was going on. Then there was this other girl that listen, when there is a girl who is like making, or the guy claims the girl is making advances towards him, the girl making the advances is not stupid. Definitely the guy is enabling. He's definitely, there is a transaction, there is a conversation going on that you're not aware, but that makes this girl think that she has something with this person. So he would just tell me like, oh, these girls are like throwing themselves at him. I mean, he looked good, so I would see why anyone would want to throw themselves at him, but it's just not to that extent where they just keep on, you know. And he would even be like, I'll prove it to you. Like he might even put a call through and be like, hey, you're bothering me and my girlfriend and whatever. But anyway, throughout our relationship, we were together for almost 2 years. I never caught him like, okay, you did this, and then him being like, oh, I'm sorry, because I wouldn't have even taken it. I don't know, because of my first relationship ended very badly. That would have been like, I'm done, right? But had suspicions, which he kept saying no. He kept denying. I don't live with him. I stay very far away. Like, he could do whatever he if I was staying close to him, he would not be dating someone that lives in the same, literally the same building as him. Like, he wouldn't be able to pull it off because I'm far away, so it's easier for him to lie and whatever. And I'm not the type to argue with someone. Like, if I ask you something, especially in a moment when I feel like we're being vulnerable and I really ask you and expect you to tell me the truth. So whatever you tell me, I'm gonna take it and be like, okay, cool. Yeah. I'm going to need this to calm down. Mm. Mm. Oh man. So all throughout our relationship, there was always something. And then they now posted him farther away. They took him to like somewhere where he was like so far away. He was living on the water. And I visited him there twice. And oh man, it's such a long story. There was this girl and there was this other, whatever. There was a time I actually decided to leave the relationship because I was so sure he was dating someone where he was posted at first. He denied. The reason why I even started suspecting is one day he made a cute post on his Facebook, and then this girl commented with something very, very, something I would comment, something very like in love-ish, or like my man type of comment. So when I saw this comment, I was like, what up? My first thing was to just call him on the phone. I didn't remember to like take a screenshot of the comments or even look at the name to remember what the person was, so I can go look up the girl later. And so I called him. I'm like, who the hell is writing that type of comment on your page? He says, no, nobody wrote that kind of comment. He says I was making it up. Like, I was like, I literally just saw these comments. Like, I, huh? I was so confused. Like, have I gone blind or something? I had to rush back to the Facebook. And then I kept looking for these comments. I kept scrolling, no comment. And then he was like, send me the comment then. I'm like, I literally just saw this comment. He said there was no comment. He didn't see any comments. I was like, what the what the hell? I was like, whatever. Like, that was how that one died down. And then one day, he posted a picture of this girl. He was like wishing her something like luck in something, or but there was the way he wrote it, and he's someone that never posts people. In fact, he just always posts my pictures. So I asked him, who the heck is that? I wasn't comfortable with that post. He was like, no, it's nothing, whatever. And then he actually, I don't know if he tagged the girl in that picture or wrote her name, and he sounded very familiar. I was like, was this the same girl that made the comment? It was actually the same girl, which I found out later. And so at that point, I hadn't even seen him for 6 months. I had gone for my NYSC. So I already broke up with the dude in my head. And but we haven't like made it official. We still spoke on the phone. We still say I love you, but I already knew I checked out of that relationship. And then and he probably also checked out because during my camping days in NYSC, he called me one day. I didn't even know that he called me. I called him and forgot that I called him, and I was busy like buying food or something. Then he calls me back. He's like, you call me on the phone and you're buying food and you're talking to some other person. Like, I was like, what? What are you talking about? And that was it. Oh, we never spoke to each other. The two of us that we usually talk like literally every 10 seconds. We started dying down till that point when we then stopped talking completely for like about 2 weeks till I left the camp. And I was like, good riddance, because I already broken up with him in my head. So then later he came back, he was like apologetic, like, I'm sorry. I think at that point the girl he was living with left him or something. I don't know. Mind you, all this while I still haven't caught him red-handed. Everything I'm suspecting is just on speculation and just gut feeling. Mm. So good. Mm-hmm. Mm. So, and then we kind of got over that one, and then there was this other thing that happened again. It's just all speculation, all me suspecting. Now fast forward to when everything, all the damage has been done, and I'm kind of like broken, and I was like, let's actually have a talk. So he had to travel where he was to come meet me, which even traveling from there, he was with a woman in the hotel or something, whatever. Anyway, I went to see him, and maybe he just turned a new leaf or something, because we were talking, and he says, you know what, Cindy, you know what? I want us to start afresh. Like, I just want to tell you every single bad thing that I've ever done, and we can scratch it and start over, like for new beginnings and stuff. And I was like, okay, I can do that. And so I think I went first, and I literally haven't done anything. I literally have not even kissed another man throughout the whole period of our relationship. I was so faithful, and I think that really hurt me, because there were so many guys I could have easily dated, and I was living alone in Lagos. I was doing well, my business was going well, I was living like in a 2-bedroom apartment, and I never did anything to this guy. And I think that was just like what hurt me. Like, I wish I was like having fun. Like, I wouldn't feel so hurt and betrayed and cheated. So I'm like, okay, let's do it. So tell me, what's up? What have you done? And then dude starts the story, which I also appreciate him and commend him for being honest with me in that moment, and just like literally opening up what I would assume is everything, even though I still have my doubts, because bro can lie. Like, he would lie and swear with his mom's life. He would swear with his siblings just to make it look realistic. And I'm like, I don't even know when you're telling the truth. Um, but in that moment, he actually told me some things that I felt like, well, I hope that's all of it, because that's already that's already too bad, way too bad, right? So anyway, he starts up his story. Before I get in there, let's munch on this a little, because I need to calm down, because now I just feel like I'm reliving that moment a little, and it was heartbreaking. Mm. Mm-hmm. I needed that. I have 2 dogs, a German Shepherd and a Caucasian. So beautiful. Anyway, he begins his story. Apparently, the woman, the senior woman officer, whatever, was like, they were together, and she knew that I was the main chick. I don't know how that dynamic was with them. So every time I would come, she would like have to pause their relationship, which obviously she's being jealous. That's why she's like not taking my greetings, and also making him work harder than normal. And I think she was also in a relationship or something. I have no idea what they were doing. But he finally confirmed that they were in a full blown like relationship. But that kind of relationship where she knows that I am his girl. So when I come, she has to like take the back seat or something. Why would anyone even want to take the back seat for anyone? Like, for what? You're not like Dangote's child or something. Bro was like broke or like just normal. Like, what? I don't get it. I don't know why any woman would want to be second place to anyone unless the man is like some billionaire or something. Mm. Or let me just put it this way. Practically every girl I've suspected that I've asked him about, that he has lied and sworn with his mother's name, with his mother's life and his siblings' life and his life. All those moments where I'm looking at him in the eye, I thought we're having like, you know, romantic in the moment, deep emotional situation and confessing our guts out. He was lying in that moment. I just was just looking at him and it felt like I was looking at a stranger. I was like, who the hell am I looking at right now? This is definitely not like this has to be someone else. And then so many situations that he encountered. Apparently there were even more girls that I had no idea about. And that is because we're doing a goddamn long-term relationship. I will never do a long-term relationship again. Ever, ever, ever. Because what? There were so many girls I named. Apparently there was this like youth couple as well. There was this other lady. There was this other person that is traveling and coming. There was this girl that was a model. Dude, seriously. There was this other girl that, oh my God. I just sat there in that moment. I think I've already prepared myself for the worst. While he was saying that, no tear dropped from my eye. So while he was done, I just remember I had no emotions. I had no tear in my eye. I just went numb. And I think it was because I had no emotions and I was just looking at him and just going like, was the reason why he just kept going and he kept confessing. Because I knew if I became dramatic, he would probably not say everything that he said. But in that moment, I was just looking at him like it was just like I was looking at a totally different person. And the thing that really shocked me was the fact that there were moments when we had deep conversations that I would swear for this dude and say this guy in this moment was being honest with me. Like he would swear with his mother's life, his siblings' life, just to convince me that he's saying the truth. I'm like, no, I'm just realizing that even in those moments you're lying. So how do I know when you're being honest with me? I was like, I'm looking at a stranger right now. And I also knew in that moment that I was never going to see this man again. And the cheating would have done it for me. The lying would have done it for me. But just remembering and playing back those very emotional, sensitive moments where I was like, in this moment, I had a deep, long conversation with my man, and honestly, we have squashed everything. And you know, he was being honest with me to find out that he was lying. I ended up looking like a mad, but every time I'm like the paranoid one who was always suspecting everything. But I was actually right. Like that was when I started respecting my guts. I'm like, girl, your gut feeling is quite strong. Like you know what you're doing with that. I'm eating half of it. So good. So anyway, I left him, moved on to my next relationship within like the month. Like, and my next relationship was like my best relationship, is my best relationship so far. It lasted for 5 years, and I'm really sad that that relationship ended, but there was no hurt, like nobody was hurt. If you want me to tell you about my best relationship with my 5-year relationship guy, let me know. And yeah, that was the next relationship after my long distance relationship, and this is why I will never do long distance again, ever. So I knew in that moment I was never going to see this man again. I was never going to see this man again. Ever, ever, ever. And I never saw him till today. I've never seen him again. And you know the funny part? After everything, like after like a couple years, he started reaching out back to me. And talking about some like he needs closure. Like he started with like, I want you back type shit. And then I was like, what? Block. Get the no, dude, no. Ew, gross. And then he chatted me on my social media one day, was like, please, I want us to talk for closure, whatever. I was like, okay. I don't even know why I indulged it in that moment. I think I just was so bored that I had nothing else to do. And then we ended up talking. I honestly cannot remember what the conversation was about, or it was about what happened, but I just can't remember. I can't remember what he said. I didn't think it was something that made sense to me. And yeah, and that was it. So I blocked him back on all my social media. Bro goes to even my business social media to chat me up. In fact, he he sent a message to my business social media a couple days ago, maybe about a week ago, and I was like something about, yeah, my princess. No, Jesus. I'm like, bro, come on now. Like, that is just weird. I didn't even like reply to that one. And like, that one did not even get a reply. And I wasn't even the one, I'm not even the one handling the social media. For the person to send a screenshot of that to me, it was like someone sent this message. I was like, anyway, that is done. I know he's still trying to tomorrow, which I don't know why. Bro, I'm not even thinking about you. Like, the reason why I'm even bringing this up right now is because I made a video talking about how I would never do long distance relationship, and the fact that some people asked me what my experience was, so I just came here to share it. Well, yeah, that was other thing transpired, other things transpired. It was just a lot, but this is just like the summary of it. But I'm also going to give him credit for actually being open with me in that moment when he decided to share everything. I don't know if it was everything, but it better be everything because it was bad enough. Um so I give him credit for that. And while we were together, he was actually a very sweet guy. Because he lied a lot, of course, he knew exactly what to say to me or to any woman. So yeah, he was very sweet, very kind. I never felt like he took advantage of me financially. Um, yeah, so I'll give him that. But in terms of lying, he's like a big, like, he would lie with anything, anything. And if you're with such a person, you can't really tell when they're being honest, right? So nah, that is not for me. Um, and I've also noticed that about men from Delta states, like that state, they just, no shade, but I don't know. At least the people I've been meeting, he's from Delta State, and the other Delta State people I've been meeting, they just lie so easy. Like, it doesn't really. I mean, you can lie, but sometimes you just like tone it down a little bit. Anyway, yeah, that's my experience with my long distance relationship, and I hope you enjoyed this story. All right, let's have more of this. When I said he didn't take advantage of me financially, by then I was doing so well. My business was doing so well. I was living in like a 2 bedroom apartment. I was comfortable, and my first guy was very, he really took advantage of me financially. I was practically providing for him. So with him, the long distance guy, he never did that. He never gave me anything financially. He never took anything from me, which is better for me than just taking, right? So yeah, I'll give him that. And what else? Um he still tried his best. Anyway, that's the end of that story. So I'm just gonna eat this a little bit more and then we can end it. If you enjoyed that story and want me to tell you a lot more about my life, because my relationship, I have seen shaggy. I have seen like the worst situation in relationship. I've been hurt so bad. If you want more stories like that, let me know. If there's any other thing you want me to talk about, let me know as well. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell notification so you can get notified anytime I post or do anything on the channel. And also welcome, subscribe, like, welcome to the family. I'm gonna also put my Instagram and go check me out. My Instagram is more better, but this is a new channel and I just want to have fun here. I don't want to link it with my main Instagram. I just want to come here and do anything I want and have fun with you guys. So please subscribe. Bye, guys.